out of ammunition and shooting rusty nails, heartbroken 'cause they had failed. They lost the battle, but they won some rights. They showed them they weren't afraid to fight. Not red enough, not white enough, which way should they go? The Métis! Riel surrendered, though he could have got away. He said, in court I'll have my say. The government will understand why I fought again. Was all in vain, they sentenced him to hang. Now in Regina one day they laid him away, dropped through the gallows door. But his name lives on, though in a simple grave, this great man is no more. Not red enough, not white enough, which way should they go? Oh, the Memories, I'm so glad we have those memories. A tear in your eye while we smile and think of those beautiful, wonderful memories. The world was young and so were we, and we were busy at the time making memories. Your first love and my first car, oh, think of those beautiful, wonderful memories. Remember when we got caught in the rain, waiting for the streetcar that never came. Memories, memories, I'm so glad we have those memories. A tear in your eye while we smile and think of those beautiful, wonderful memories. Picnic baskets all over the park. I got to be home before it gets dark. Memories, memories. I'm so glad we have those memories. A tear in your eye, while we smile and think of those beautiful, wonderful memories. One more time now, I'll think of those beautiful, wonderful memories. Oh yeah, I'll think of those beautiful, wonderful memories. On a hill far away stood an old rugged cross, the emblem of suffering and shame. And I love that old cross where the dearest and best for a world of lost sinners was slain. So I'll cherish the old rugged cross till my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a crown. my trophies at last I lay down. I will cling to the old rugged cross and exchange it someday for a It's great to be back home in Manitoba. My heart is beating fast as I drive home. My woman's waiting with her hugs and kisses. She'll say I've been on the road too long. I walk into our house and hear the silence. Sadness meets me down the hall. I run to check the rooms, they're all empty. She's gone for good, echoes wall to wall. I never knew a house could be so lonely. The emptiness brings me to my knees. I've never been afraid of nothing. Now nothing scares the hell out of me. I finally go to sleep on the sofa and wake up to the fragrance of perfume. Her empty arms are reaching out to hold me. Our song is playing in the room. Her soft eyes are closed for me to kiss her. And suddenly I hear myself scream. No one is here except her memory. She came back only in my dream. I never knew a house could be so lonely. The emptiness brings me to my knees. I've never been afraid of nothing. Now nothing scares the hell out of me. Yeah, nothing scares the hell. Show me the way to Jerusalem. Show me the way right now. Show me the way to Jerusalem. I wanna go right now. It's written in the Bible, Jesus died for our sins. God sacrificed his when you walk through a storm. Hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of a storm is a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though your dreams be tossed and blown. Walk on with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll all this time, all that I needed was my Bible, this church, and you. Living my life, always wanting the things that led me to sin. Once again, I admit I was wrong, Lord, and each time you let me back in. All this time, all that I needed was my Bible, this church, and you. Signs that you hear me. All this time, it was right here to see. Oh my God, I was so wrong, forgive me. Here I am on my bended knees. All this time, all that I needed was my Bible, this church, and you. When fortune would come, I wouldn't seek you. Only when things would go wrong, I'll repay all that I can loan. Maybe help someone with this song. All this time, all that I needed was my Bible, this church, and you. All this time, all that I needed was my Bible, this church, and you. Well, I'm tired and so weary, but I must go on. Till the Lord comes and calls me away to where the morning is bright and the Lamb is the light and the night is as bright as the day. There will be peace in the valley for me someday. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Oh Lord, I pray. There'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. There will be peace in the valley for me someday. There'll be peace in the valley for me. Oh Lord, I pray. There'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no troubles I see. There'll be peace in the valley for me. No more on the outside looking in. No more wondering where I've been. I finally reached out, you took me in. No more on the outside looking in. No more on the outside looking in. inside I always knew you cared for me, but too afraid of the truth, too blind to see. So many times I long for you, but because of where I've been, I prefer the outside looking in. No more on the outside looking in. No more wondering where I've been. I finally reached out, you took me in. No more on the outside looking in. No more on the outside looking in. The door was always open and you would call to me, but I'd prefer to walk right by and want your company. I finally stumbled and I fell and ended up inside. The feeling was so beautiful that I cried. No more on the outside looking in. No more wondering where I've been. I finally reached out, you took me in. No more on the outside looking in. No more on the outside looking in. If you see the same bird wherever you go, it is my spirit, this I've been told. My body's at rest, at last I am free. If you see the same bird, you'll know that it's me. My time on earth has come to an end. It was a long, long goodbye to all of my friends. But I'll miss you the most. I'll miss you, my sweet. Look for that bird, you'll know that it's me. Fly, fly, fly. I'll be back in the morning to make sure you're all right. All the memories we made we'll never forget, and the love that we shared we'll never regret. Look for me this a love song to show how I care. The colors in the rainbow are pretty up here. The stars so much brighter.
Two. Excuse me for the interruption. We'd like to welcome you to Ray St. Germain's Celebration of Life. Once we're done with the service, there is going to be a musical tribute by the family, so you're going to want to stay and watch that. Right now, what we ask you to do is please put your cellular phones on vibrate mode so it won't interrupt the service. We thank you for your attendance this afternoon.
Make sure you're all right.
I just wanted another standing ovation for Ray. Big surprise. And he's earned every one of them. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joey Gregor, and I am so proud and honored to be part of this celebration this afternoon. I will be emceeing the proceedings, and as I said, very, very proud to do so. Now, I know Mike told you, and this is very important because this afternoon there are going to be many tributes, heartfelt tributes, stories that will evoke tears, I'm sure, and laughter. I know it's cliche, but Ray would like us to be happy. But given this venue, the reason we said that is because if you do not adhere to the silence of your cell phones, you will have to face the wrath of glory. Saint Germain. Thank you. Ray would love that. Ray would love that. You know, I think I'm looking out here, and I think most of us here would say that we enjoyed the best times of this life. We really did enjoy that. Ray did too, but here's the difference. Ray was one that created those best times in our life. And I would say we were very blessed to have him as a friend. Now, having said that, I would like to introduce you to Pastor Wamba with our opening prayer.
Thank you, Joey. It's hard to follow that. You start off strong. I'd like to thank the Saint Germain family for allowing me and inviting me into this moment. I recognize that this is a very special moment. One could even say almost a sacred moment. It's a vulnerable time. And it feels like a huge honor to step into this with you and to walk with you and journey with you as we take time to grieve, but also celebrate. And thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you for setting aside time to be here and be present and show your support. I'd like to invite you into time of prayer. Recognize that we're here to comfort each other and also receive comfort from the divine. So I'd like to invite the divine into this. Please join me in prayer. Creator, we recognize that from the very moment we are born, from the very moment we take our first breath, you were present. And you're present in our last breath as well. We're here to acknowledge and celebrate Ray's life, his remarkable life. Thank you for the ways in which he modeled what it looks like to make a difference and to approach life with intention. As we grieve the loss of Ray, I pray that you would comfort us. Would you be with us? Would you be with us as we laugh? Would you be with us as we cry? Would you be in the space and guide this time together as we look to you for comfort? Amen.
I just met Pastor Wamba before the service, and I almost made you a bishop. Here he is, Bishop Wamba, but he said, no, I'll pass for now. So anyway, I want to direct your attention to the screen, the video screen, because we have a very special message from the Premier of Manitoba, the Honorable Wab Kinew.
Bonjour and hello to everybody who is gathered today to mourn the passing of a great Manitoban. To glory, to the kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids, on behalf of the province of Manitoba, I offer you my sincere condolences on the passing of Ray St. Germain. Ray was such a great Manitoban who contributed so many wonderful tunes, great memories, inspiring stories, and good laughs to people all across this wonderful province. As Métis people have reasserted and revitalized their culture and identity, I think that we could say that Ray Saint Germain is one of the troubadours, one of the traveling musicians who helped to articulate the beautiful Métis sage that is your collective identity. In addition to being a proud Métis person, I know that he was a wonderful, loving family man, and he will be dearly missed. So I want to take this time to say, God bless the mourners. I want to thank everyone who are paying tributes to Mr. Saint Germain today. And over the weekend, I wanted to share that I was listening to that wonderful song of his, You'll Know That It's Me. And so I say to Glory, the kids, grandkids, great-grandkids, and all the families, that as you go through this difficult period, I know that there are those special moments, special memories that you will recall. And of course, when you hear those things, see those things, remember those things, you'll know that it's him. Miigwech Ray, for all that you've done for us, we'll see you again. Higawab Min Mina.
Ray had many, many talented special friends in his many careers. It wasn't just on stage. He did radio, television, and speaking of radio, here's Ray's dear friend and co-host on the Metis Hour on NCI FM on the radio band. This is Naomi Clark.
Hi, everyone. It's actually Naomi Clark. At least that's what Ray used to call me. And so now as I am out and about, I'll randomly hear, it's Naomi Clark. So thank you for leaving that legacy. He was a colleague of mine. He had an amazing work ethic. He was always, without a doubt, no minimum half hour early for every event, but usually an hour. And so being his co-host every Saturday, I hate waiting, I hate being there. So I'm always trying to get there as late as possible so I don't have to wait around and waste time. So I used to give him heart failure every Saturday because I would show up at 11:45 on a good day. Sometimes it was 11:55, and sometimes there was 11:58. And so I would have heard from him a couple of times on the phone by then, where are you? Oh, I'll be there. Just, don't worry about it. Sorry, President Chartrand. I'm just telling on myself now. And even when I took over, so I retired first, and then when he retired a couple years ago, I came back onto the show. And he used to call me every Saturday at about 10:30 just to check to see where I was. You're at the studio, right? And I'm like, oh, I'm gonna be there right away. But I remember Ray as a respectful man. He was always a gentleman through and through. And he always had the gift of lifting everyone around him up. He had a way of making you feel like you were the most important person in his world and that you were worthy of being in his world. I also remember I had the opportunity, so he started the Metis Hour first on NCI, but then after that was a success, Dave McLeod had the genius to hey, let's make him an announcer on air. He doesn't need to sell cars anymore. And so he tasked me with training him. And so we had a lot of fun training, but I was also a single mother of 2 at that time. My son's here. And I think the 3rd day in, I had to leave because daycare closed at 5:30. And if I wasn't there, you got the $15 late charge. But if you're 15 minutes late, then they called CFS on you. So I was like, sorry, Ray, man, I got nobody. Nobody can pick up the kids today. I gots to go. And he's like, you're going to leave me here alone? It's only day 3. And I said, you've got it. You'll be fine. It'll be great. He was so mad at me. I know Glory heard all about it when he got home. I can't believe she left me alone. I'm sorry, Ray, and I'm glad that you forgave me because it led to me working the board for the Metis Hour, and it eventually led us to becoming co-hosts. So I know he was a mentor to many of us, not only as musicians, but as radio announcers as well. And I know Cowboy Carl Thomas, was his last co-host on the Metis Hour when I took that retirement. Ray nicknamed him the Iron Man of NCI. We can't forget about Ro, or Rosanna Deerchild, and I know she's here as well today. He was always calling us the kid, and Kimberly Dawn is one that he used to call the kid all the time too. And we can't forget Lorraine George. She was the voice of the North, and she taught him Cree every week. There were so many announcers, I could go on forever. But besides being colleagues, we were friends. And being a co-host brings a unique friendship. You have to spend time not only on air, but you also have to spend time outside of work together. So we spent many birthdays, anniversaries. Christmas Eve was always my favorite. Every year, Christmas Eve, there was always a party at the St. Germain's, and all of the local musicians that were available came by, and the family members that were in town, and it was just an awesome, fun time, because when they're paid musicians, they have to give you the show, but when they're doing it for themselves, they could have fun and do the things that they wanted to probably do on stage but couldn't. And those were always really unique and amazing times. And I'm gonna miss Christmas Eve at the St. Germain's, but I'm glad we got one this past December 23rd, and it's Glory's birthday on Christmas Day, so it was always a big celebration. It takes a lot of trust and respect, because we had to have one another's backs. And I know when I was low energy, he'd bring me up, and when he was low energy for that day, he'd bring me up. And as he moved into retirement, I know I couldn't let him go from the show. So it was nice to have him call in every Saturday. And then it was nice in the later weeks, having Kimberly Dawn call or text me and say, I'm here, we're listening to the show. And she'd give me a play-by-play. And I know Ray used to say, shh, Kimberly, I'm trying to listen to President Chartrand, or Naomi's talking, or what's that song? But it was also, nice to have that. And so I'm gonna miss that going forward. And because we're besties, he also hated the girl talk that I would do with him, but hey, that's what besties are for. I knew he would rather watch paint dry, but he was all good about it. I remember when he was inducted into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame, and rightfully so. And he was always so selfless, and this goes to the part where he always makes you feel important in his life, that I had nothing to do with his music career, but he had the opportunity at the end of his acceptance speech to recognize the Metis Hour ×2, because he was so proud of the show, and me as well, and that meant so much to me. Family is huge for him, and it's, huge for me as well. And so I do need to honor that my dad is here in the crowd as well today, Tom. And my son Adam and his fiance, my sister Paige, my brother Lester and his wife Selena are all here today to support. And the pride that he had in his children was immense. Every Saturday, if we happened to play a song, or if they came in to hang out and do the show, the pride he had on his face, whether they were there or not, was immense. And I know you're going to be able to hold on to that for a long time. And you all are so talented. And Ray ended up being like a father figure to me as well, because he had a lot of the same values that my dad holds near. He was always, be respectful, be humble, and treat everyone the same. And when I talk about family, like, our listeners were our family. The listeners are still my family, but they were our family, and he allowed a lot of our listeners into our lives, and they'd call in every Saturday, and I see a lot of them in the crowd, and I'm thankful that you're here. And I know people come into our lives for a reason, and I'm thankful that Ray came into mine. And I'm thankful that the family has allowed me to kind of be their adopted sister. And I appreciate you all. I want to thank the MMF, of course, David Chartrand and Ray, and I think it was Yvonne Dumont that all came up with the show and the idea for the show 27 years ago. I want to thank NCI and Dave McLeod, who had the vision to also get Ray on board as an announcer and general manager. And for Ray, for welcoming me as his co-host. You know, I was hoping that I'd be adopted and I'd suddenly learn how to sing, but apparently not. Just ask my grandchildren. So fly high, my friend, to a place with no more suffering. And I can only imagine that there must be the biggest show going on in heaven right now. I'll do my best to fulfill your vision for the Metis Hour. The show will never be the same, but we'll hang on to it as long as we can, and we'll forever make sure that your legacy isn't forgotten. Thank you.
Ray did a lot of legendary things in his great career, but I think that last performance at the street naming will be very legendary. It was absolutely incredible, his performance, just amazing. There was strength, believe me, coming from another source through Ray. I'll never forget that. One of the gentlemen that was in that crowd of people that joined in the naming of Big Sky Country Way was the Minister of Northern Affairs, and he's here to say a few words, the Honorable Dan Vandel.
Thank you so much, Joey. I'm so honored to be here to say a few words this afternoon as we gather for Ray's commemoration with family, with friends, and with well-wishers for Ray St. Germain. About 6 weeks ago, I was coming home from Ottawa, and as I was waiting at the airport, I was going through my Facebook, as many of us often do. And I noticed that Councillor Brian Mays was commemorating Ray St. Germain with a street naming in St. Vital, of course. And I just absolutely had to be there. I showed up a little late because I had meetings, but I got through them quickly, showed up a little late. I had to park 5 blocks away because there were so many people there. The turnout was absolutely amazing. Stories were told, great stories, wonderful music, songs were sung. I met many, many old friends, and I even met some new friends who I've spoken to today. But most importantly is that I got to meet Ray and say my piece about what he meant to me and what he meant to my generation of friends growing up during our lifetime. And it was a really, really special morning for me and for many people. And he passed several days later. Now I know why I absolutely had to be there in St. Vital that day. From very humble beginnings, Ray grew up on St. Michael's Road in St. Vital, where I spent many an hour knocking on doors there in my career. And he became known across Canada and the US playing country and rockabilly music, playing with the likes of Johnny Cash, if you can imagine the great Johnny Cash. In the late 50s, before I was even born, he had a hit with She's a Square. But the song I remember most is the Métis. And I remember him singing that Sunday morning in the Lieutenant Governor's house, Lieutenant Governor Yvonne Dumont, where he had those Sunday morning jamborees, and Ray finished the Métis right up here, that high, and he kept threatening to blow the chandelier. I remember that was a story he had, and it was fantastic. He was a pioneer, a visionary, a leader, and at times when Métis culture and music were not recognized or well known, Ray blazed the trail through the power of music for many young Métis performers, Métis citizens to reclaim their roots through the power of music, and he brought pride to many of us. Beyond the public persona, he was a private person whose family and friends were first to him. He was modest, gentle, kind, and Ray was a liberal. In 2006, he ran for the Liberal Party in Winnipeg Centre against Pat Martin, and unfortunately was not elected. But let me conclude with this. I was at the Calgary Stampede yesterday in the morning for the parade, and I was watching it at a place called the King Eddie, right across from the National Music Center. And I got into a conversation with the director, the CEO, Andrew, and some of his staff, and a lot of cowboys, a lot of cowgirls, and we talked about Ray St. Germain and what a legacy he left. And after the parade was over, we all went to the music center to see his steel string flat top acoustic guitar, which is enshrined in the Canada Music Center, where Ray St. Germain is in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And we had just a wonderful discussion about Ray and his legacy. So to Glory, and to all his children, Chrystal, Catherine, Ray Jr., David, Sherry, their families, my thoughts and our thoughts are with you during this very difficult time. And from the federal government, from the Fiddle family to your family, may the memories you have shared with Ray bring you comfort, strength, and peace. Marcy, thank you.
Dan just said he's a fan of mine. It's kind of cool. It really is. Dan, I don't know if I don't know if I should talk to Dan about this, but I know he has a lot of clout, because when I saw that street naming, I have to say I was very envious. You know, big Sky Country Way. So listen, I'm going to put this on you, Dan. If I hang around long enough, okay, I'm thinking, okay, it doesn't have to be a street. How about a garage? Joey Gregorage. It works. Thank you, Dan. Thank you very much. All right, simmer down. It's not a rally, although Ray would like that. You know, this next speaker is a very dear friend of Ray's. He's a former member of the Manitoba Legislative Assembly. And over the years, he performed with Ray. And towards the end, he actually performed for Ray in the Deer Lodge Hospital and with the dance troupe. And it was quite a send-off in the last few days. Please welcome Ray's dear friend, Kevin Chief.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's absolutely wonderful to be here with all of you. I want to tell you a story of my last encounter with the legendary Ray St. Germain. It produced a sweet and special moment that will stay with me forever. But I have to give you some background first. I loved watching Ray perform. Every time he sang a song, his eyes lit up as if he were singing it for the first time. Everything felt new, everything felt fresh, every time. I noticed something else about his performances too. He would always tell the same jokes, and even those jokes always felt new and fresh. His fans, me included, would always laugh, even though we had heard the lines before. From Ray, I learned that good stories and good jokes can help others feel welcome and comfortable and connected. They could make people feel good and feel happy every time they hear them. As you might know, I'm a square dancer with the Norman Chief Memorial Dancers. When we perform in the community, I usually serve as MC. One of our favorite fiddle tunes to dance to is called Whiskey Before Breakfast. And in Ray St. Germain fashion, I always introduce the dance by using the same joke about the title. Ray used to tease me about my repetition, even though I had learned that directly from him. Anyways, a few days before Ray passed, our dance team was asked to perform at the Deer Lodge Center, where we could put on a show for Ray and the other residents. We, of course, said yes. It was a huge honor for which we will always be grateful. Before we began, I joked with the audience that Ray had a morning ritual to prepare for the days when he had an evening performance, and that we'd be dancing to a fiddle tune that best represents that ritual. The ritual, of course, was Ray having whiskey before breakfast. The last from the crowd, as Ray taught me to expect. And when I turned to Ray, he shared his approval by giving me 2 thumbs up from his wheelchair. It's a sight now etched in my mind forever. Makes me laugh, and it makes me cry. If Ray can make someone laugh or cry with a simple, silent gesture like 2 thumbs up, imagine the impact he had on people through his lyrics, his golden vocal cords, his basic goodness, and his solid character. What Ray showed on stage, he showed in real life. He was warm, sincere, focused, authentic, and so very kind. An exceptional man, humble about his immense talent, and fiercely proud of his Métis heritage. When I worked as an Aboriginal community networker for Rivers Chance Kona School Division, I used to organize professional development sessions for teachers and staff. I knew Ray could have enormous impact through his singing and storytelling as we sought to build bridges between Indigenous and non-Indigenous people. Every time Ray stepped in front of the audience, he opened people's hearts and minds. And every time Ray joined me for an in-service, the teachers and staff always gave my sessions a high evaluation score. Ray liked hearing that. He would never say it himself, but he made everyone around him better. He had a way with people of all ages, and I was happy to invite him to schools to sing and speak with junior high school kids, which can be a pretty tough audience. He always knocked it out of the park. And the little kids were starstruck when he came to their schools. They knew him as the voice of the bear from Teepee Tales, that wonderful show created by Lisa Meaches and the late Elder Dave Crushane. As for his older fans, well, Ray St. Germain was Winnipeg's Elvis Presley. Or maybe it would be more accurate to say that Elvis Presley was Graceland's Ray St. Germain. Of all of Ray's great accomplishments on television, on radio, on stages, and in the community, I think the one I'll remember the most is the Aboriginal Express that he and Glory produced every January 21st to celebrate National Indigenous Peoples Day and showcase Indigenous talent. What a gift it was for me and our dance group to share the stage, not only with Ray, but also his son DJ and the late, great Clint Dudium on fiddle. I was always grateful for the opportunity to dance as part of the Aboriginal Express, and always grateful that Ray and Glory made sure that my mom and her close friends had the best seats in the house. Like I said, Ray made everyone around him better. He also never said no to a request that was meaningful to him. He accepted True North's invitation to sing the national anthem at Wasak Night, a Winnipeg Jets game dedicated to Indigenous culture and the good work being done by the Winnipeg Aboriginal Sport Achievement Center. And he always made himself available to perform for the kids at Wasak. He even taught them how to yodel. He also said yes to me. And although I agree with the minister, he was a liberal, he also said yes to me when I asked if he would join me on the campaign trail when I was running to be the MLA for Point Douglas. He came with me to campaign at seniors' homes in the riding and would always perform his classic hit, Conchita Kowalski, about a Mexican girl with European roots. Ay, 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 chakai, chakai. As the lyrics went, you can't make pierogies in a chili pot. The crowd ate it up, with Ray on my campaign team singing Chakai Chakai. No North End Bubbas were voting for anyone else but me. Ray made me better. I think he made all of us better. And by building bridges the way he did, he played a key role in reconciliation long before we ever started to use that word the way we use it today. Whether singing his signature piece, I'm mighty proud, I'm Métis, or singing something like It's Now or Never, like he did just a few weeks ago when a street name was changed in his honor, Ray's voice was a voice of passion, the voice of love, and the voice of friendship. I thank you, Glory, and the entire St. Germain family for the honor of speaking today. Ray was a special friend and a mentor to me, an inspiration to us all. 2 thumbs up, Ray. 2 thumbs up. God bless.
I think a bandmate of Ray's would like this little tribute. He mentioned, and of course, Ray was known as Winnipeg's Elvis Presley. Thank you very much. So on 3, I think that's what we should all do for Ray and his band. I thank you very much. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. It was too clear, but thank you very much. Okay. Our next speaker was the first Métis person to serve in the federal cabinet. Here with a heartfelt tribute is Senator Jerry St. Germain.
Hats off to all of you, but I had to wear it up here because nobody know me without it. Anyway, Reverend, Mr. MC, my Métis leader, and other leaders in this and the family, ladies and gentlemen, what an honor and a privilege to say a few words about one of our most inspirational Métis leaders and legends in Canada. I first saw Ray as he performed at the Pioneers Picnic at Lido Plage, which is where I lived and grew up on the banks of the Assiniboine River as a Métis person. We as Métis were always hesitant to identify as Métis, simply because of a discriminatory stigma that ran with us as Métis people. However, the talented Ray continued as an entertainer, inspiring us to identify as proud Métis people. He inspired men and women to identify and to be proud of their heritage. He worked tirelessly, most often volunteering at gatherings, inspiring young and old. We do have the same family name, but a lot ends there. I can't even play the radio, let alone sing. However, Ray was committed to his Métis roots, and his talents as an entertainer resonated across the country. A great voice, a vibrant personality, and a natural leader. So Ray, as I said earlier, devoted much of his life to promoting the Métis cause. But his greatest commitment was to his family. He was proud of his family, and rightly so. Many talented in so many ways, as we will hopefully see later today. His daughter, Catie, performed at Margaret and I's ranch in British Columbia. Her performance was absolutely superb, and it's still talked about today by those that attended. His entire family are to be admired. And that is as a result of Ray and Glory's commitment to the family and community. However, I'm pleased to see so many here today, along with our Métis leadership, members of the Métis community, people from everywhere, honoring this great Canadian icon. To keep this concise and precise, as I promised Glory, and to conclude this very distinguished celebration of life, I'll leave you with a quote from the distinguished Irish author and poet William Butler Yeats. And I quote, "Think where man's glory most begins and ends, and say, my glory was, I had such friends." Thank you, merci, miigwech. God bless you, Ray, and all of us here today. Thank you.
Our next speaker is a longtime friend of Ray's, and he actually co-created the Metis Hour on NCI FM radio, and he is the president of the Métis Federation. Please welcome the Honorable David Chartrand.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I definitely choose Glory to write MC for this one today and make Ray proud. Well, Pastor, thank you for your prayer. You started off, and Joey, again, great job in emceeing. It's great to see so many dignitaries here today to honor this great man, my friend, Grand Chief Catie. Thank you for being here today. And for all those, I do apologize. I can't see with my left eye right now. I got a problem. And so I want to acknowledge everybody in the crowd or leaders that come from across the north or across this country. But I'm sure Ray is, our dear friend Ray, is very, very proud. I am. Kevin, great job. It almost made me start crying when I was sitting there, because he was more than an entertainer to me. You know, I think back growing up in Duck Bay, struggles we faced. I didn't know racism even existed until I left Duck Bay. We're a poor community, like financially poor. We're family rich in our closeness, as you are as Germains. We're very close families and very supportive of each other. And here was Ray, already fighting for it in 1973, mighty proud of Métis. And it was actually probably very, very brave at that time to take on the challenge of singing something that wasn't well received in this country. Very hard to imagine, because I was only 13 years old. And little did I ever know that I'd be out there fighting for rights for my people. Ray already was paving the way for me, cutting the trees so I could see the other side. And Ray and I connected when I was 37 years old. I was just reflecting my thoughts there, and my wife and I were talking about Ray this morning. And I was 37 years old when I met Ray, and actually, I'll tell you a story, my favorite moment. Ray always told his story to me, because at that time I was working for the Department of Justice, and I was really into fighting for different things and for my people. And I was going to run for president in 1997. And the late Billy, Don Sukazit, Flamand, sorry, I apologize, Mr. Flamand. He was going to run, and he wanted to get Ray's support because Ray was a singer. Ray knew a lot of people. And he said to Ray, why don't you come with me? I'm speaking in a debate tonight in Selkirk. And this is Ray told me the story because there's no way I'd ever know it. And so he said, no, I don't want to get involved in politics. I don't want to be involved. I'm a musician. That's what I love to do. Come on, he said. He kept on bugging him. You know, if I do well, I'll run. Then we could bring music. Because Flamand himself was an entertainer. He actually did CKDM News and radio. So he bought him out, and he was able to drag Ray to Selkirk to the debate. And I was just young and full of vinegar at the time. And I started to speak during our debate. I made this passionate speech. And Ray always tells me this story, this part. I'm sorry, Mr. Flamand. But Ray says, I looked at my man that took me there. I said, Mr. Flamand, good luck. so after that, Ray became a very good friend of mine. He came and asked to meet with me, and I won the election, and from that day on, we became friends. And he just always had this way of getting to you and talking to you, and he had that 1,000-watt smile, you know, just his calmness, and he had a passion for music, but he also had a passion for Métis, something I was so well connected to in my heart. And so we started talking about different things. And actually, it was not Yvonne Germain, it was not David Chartrand. It was Ray St. Germain who introduced the idea of putting a radio show. And I'll tell you something interesting. It wasn't about his music. He wanted to do a radio show for young people, that they could bring their music, their voices to the front, and that a chance might come, that some of you might hear it, some might really, all it takes sometimes is one song. Ask Loverboy. All it takes is one song. Sometimes it'll take you far and beyond. And so he had this idea. Let's start a radio show, he said. So I said, okay, sure, sounds good. What's going to cost? We didn't have much money then. But he convinced me it was the right thing to do and a good thing to do. Who better than the guy, after listening to his music, I had such great respect for. So we started off on River Avenue, a little tiny basement radio show. We do not know how many listeners we had, but we started it. And we started getting people to send in their tapes and send in their songs so we can play it on the show. And we did updates of the Métis business. And this is one thing I have such great pride for Ray. He would not take a song if it wasn't done well. And I thought, well, for me, probably the guy didn't have the right equipment. He should be allowed to let that song play. He said, no, because if I let that song play, I'm hurting him or her, because they're going to hear that in not the full context of what she or he can properly deliver. I'm not going to play music unless it's good, very good. So I give them a chance to be accepted or heard or asked to perform somewhere else. He never changed in the 25 years we were together, never. And the Metis Hour was listened to by tens of thousands. It was the number one show in NCI. Sorry for Friday and all the rest of them, but we were the number one show in Metis Hour for decades and decades. And we were not listened to only Manitoba. Mexico, Europe, Scotland, other people called in sometimes that where they were. They're listening to or sent in information. They were listening to the Metis Hour. So, but the idea behind that was, again, the pride of pushing the Métis agenda, the idea of who we are. And that was something so important and pressing for me. So when I see Ray today, it hit me when I come walking in here. It hurt me now when I walked in, because I was not as hurt when I was with Glory and them at the hospital, or DJ, or meeting Sherry at the office. I accepted it that Ray was leaving us. Naomi kept me briefed all the time, and I was very, very, very happy with that. But it hit me and I walked in here. My friend is gone. I don't see that face anymore, that smile, that thing that gives me such warmth inside my heart. Because it's automatic. Every time I saw Ray, it made me feel good. No matter how my day was, no matter how sad my day was, it made me feel good when I saw Ray. So it hit me as I walked in here. I thought, then I remember this. Because when we went to visit him, Oliver, myself, and Dawn, we went there and Oliver wanted to play a fiddle tune for him. He got off his bed and he got him into his armchair, and Oliver played some tunes for him. And he was just smiling, happy, give us all hugs. And then so Oliver looks at him, and Ray, if you know Ray well, he likes to joke, he likes to tease. And that's, I think, why we got along. I like to joke and tease too. So he's sitting there, and Oliver's looking at him saying, Ray, I understand you got Parkinson. And I said to him, yeah, Parkinson took my sister's life too. And then he says to Ray, but I don't see no symptoms. Because usually your hands will shake, so Ray's just staring at him. So we burst out in a big laugh. So even though he was sick and struggling, he still made us all laugh inside there. And it just made my heart warm, and I left that place. And then I had the pleasure of going to see him. And even when I was there, to show you the respect he had as a man. To me, that's so important. As a man, I'm a man with loyalty and respect. That's how my mom raised me. And that's my motto. And when I went to see Ray, and of course, Glory's sitting there, and DJ's gave me his chair to sit beside his dad. And right away, he's trying to get up to show me respect. And he's weak and frail. But he's still fighting, he's struggling to get up. He puts his arm, pull me. And Glory said, you can't bring him up. He can't, because his pain was vigorous. But he could see even his dying moments, he wanted to show respect to his leader, to his friend. He was trying to get up. And it hurt me to see him that way, but it also made me feel good that I know he's going to end his pain soon. When he was supposed to leave us days before, I was waiting for the call that he's now left. I did not want to go back. I could not go back. I didn't want to see him the way I saw him, because I wanted to see that face, that smile, that legend that I'll always remember in my mind. Always. It'll never go away from me for the rest of my life. And there I was saying to myself, I can't go back and see him the way he is, because I don't want that to stick in my mind. So you're brave, Glory, and the rest of you to see that to the last moments as he's whispered. It's probably his last words, because he always tried to reach out to Glory, and whatever he's telling Glory wouldn't repeat to us. Maybe he was swearing at us, I don't know. But anyways, telling us to get the hell out of there. But the point at the end of the thing is that for me, it was such a touching moment when we had a chance to be together and to know him the way I know him. To understand that before my time, I'm the longest serving president of the Federation. But before my time, there was a man before me who had a great belief in himself, great belief in his people, his families. And he was saying it when racism was so strong. Today, we can take it on. We'll take anybody that takes us on. Métis are scrappers. But here he was, already promoting and fighting for us, way before I was just a teenager. And lo and behold, our paths would cross, that we'd come together and do great service for more. Because the Metis Hour, trust me, has impacted so many lives. And so many people are so proud to be part of it. We have Big Guy's Country and all the rest of it on television. Those are important aspects of his history, his family, getting awarded the Aboriginal Country Music Hall of Fame, all those things. But I think there was nothing greater to him than the Metis Hour, because he had to talk to people every day. Saturday, he talked to somebody for 2 hours. He had a way with people. They could sometimes phone in there drunk, but he'd figured out how to handle them. Trust me, he'd handle them. He'd have curse words sometimes when he's off the show. But he had a nice, calm way of handling them. So, and then people would talk too long in the show. Just like Mike said to me in charge of the funeral, how long are you going to talk, David? So I guess he must have heard my speeches somewhere. So He was worried when I get on the stage. But when you think about it overall, I'm so fortunate to have made such a good friend. I swear to God, my heart is hurting right now. I could shed a tear so quickly, but I don't want to, because this is a celebration also. This is a time for us to thank a great man, a great legend that'll live in the Métis. He's ours, Métis Honum. He's ours, and we can brag about him and hone him like we brag about Riel and others. He's one of ours, one of our champions. And he'll be somebody that we'll honor throughout our history and time. Actually, Glory gave us some of his, what do you call those tapes? You have a fancy name in music, but we're digitalizing them right now. In fact, I listened to some this morning. It sounds very good. But again, and sometimes you don't know. I know Ray for a long time. I listen to his music. He always played those same songs. I used to tell him that, Ray, play something different. Chikara, whatever you call that thing, how do you say it? How do you say the Ukrainian one there? Chida Kowalski, yes. He sing that one, Mighty Proud of Métis, scared the hell out of you because the glasses could shatter at any moment. But he sing those songs all the time. And he has the same jokes all the time. But you listen to his other music, he never played it. And today, Naomi, thank you for playing some of that new music. Like, it's there, it's always been there. And we'll play a lot more of that. We're not going to stop playing Ray St. Germain, trust me. And neither is the callers that called in this morning. So many people, I don't know if you were listening, Glory, so many people were giving their condolences to the family, to everyone that was there, that was listening, meaning to the grandchildren, the children, and all the fans of Ray St. Germain. People were calling in and showing their emotional touch of losing a great man. But actually, we never lost him. I think he's going to be a greater legend because his music will play on. His message will play on. I'm mighty proud will always be in our hearts, in our government. It'll always be who we are. Like you heard Senator St. Germain, I'm mighty proud of Métis. You heard that from Danny Vendel. Mighty proud of Métis. And there's no one else you could ever say is mighty proud of me, of who I am and my people and my great friend, of course, Ray. So one thing I'll also say, my wife made sure she put it in capitalization this morning. She wrote my speech and she's going to say, why don't you read my speech? But she put one there, which is very important. It was not for sale. It was not about money. When we talked about the Metis Hour, it was not about him earning a bunch of money. It was about something that he dreamt about, that he felt that it was so important to him. Because I said we got some damn great talent out there, and he knows it. He heard it, and he's one of them. And his kids, man, they're playing Elvis and was a Circus or Caesar Palace, somewhere in Vegas anyway. Somewhere in Vegas. I actually wanted to see Sherry's show. I told your dad I want to go and see it because she come down some kind of piano down on some strings or something. They tied her up. Yeah. So, but you look at all of those great talent in the family, and they weren't. I think they believed they needed more, because one of them had to go marry Loverboy and bring him in. They wanted more musicians in the family. So I'm sure they'll watch those children when they come up and grow up. So Ray, I know you're going to live on. There's not a doubt in my mind you're going to live on in our hearts, in our minds, in our ears. We're going to hear you, and your music will live on with your Métis government forever. So again, glory to the family. On behalf of all Métis, on behalf of my cabinet, we thank you for letting us have him all these years. Together, we were over 227 years, me and him. So I thank you for allowing him to be part of our family too. So miigwech, and thank you very much. And thank you all for coming to show your support.
It's amazing, the exchanges we have with all these wonderful people coming up here today. David promised he's going to get me a vest like that. $100, I think it was. Anyway, just great tributes this afternoon. And some of these people I actually met for the first time in person. And they all had such wonderful words to say about Ray, and all well-deserved. And now before one of our most important speakers, with not any disrespect to anybody, before we have that speaker come up, here is a message of comfort from Pastor Wamba.
Thank you again for those beautiful, deep, heartfelt tributes. It's no surprise that what comes up over and over again in this space is the topic or the idea of music. When I met with Glory earlier this week, I walked into their space and she kind of showed me their setup. And I thought, I love music, until I stepped in that space and recognized you breathe music, you live music. And that's true for Ray and your entire family. When you spend time or when you observe somebody, even perhaps from a distance, somebody that's a master at their craft, someone that spent hours upon hours fine-tuning their craft, when you do that, sometimes there's a potential that they can present their specific area of expertise as easy. Like, have you ever found yourself in the bleachers of a professional sporting event? You're like, I think I could do that. I could score that goal. Or perhaps you're witnessing a talented and skilled musician or artist perform, and you're like, maybe I should start singing. Maybe I should learn guitar. Maybe I should learn piano. When you're exposed to greatness, or the byproduct of greatness is often inspiration. There's this seed that's planted that makes you think, maybe I can do this as well. And if that seed is nurtured, if it receives the right nutrients, if it's given care, you might even find yourself in the Country Music Hall of Fame. You might even produce the first rock hit from Winnipeg to make it on the national charts. You might even create music that breaks barriers. You might create music that brings healing. And this is true for all of us, but it's especially true for Ray, who we're remembering and honoring today. We've heard stories, some beautiful stories that have been shared by family and friends, and we've experienced personally or from a distance how Ray used his voice and actions for good. He used his voice and actions for good in his personal relationships with his wife, with his children, with his grandchildren. But then he also used his voice and his actions for good in his greater sphere of influence through various mediums: music, books, radio, TV. And I wonder for just a quick moment if I can bring your attention to the medium that I think resonates the most for me. As an amateur musician, I'm in awe when I listen to somebody like Ray, when I encounter his music and go, wow, that is incredible. Maybe someday I can get there as well, even just get like to a fraction of that. It really resonates for me, and I'm sure it resonates for you as well. But I want to chat about his music not just in the general sense, but actually zoom in a little bit. I want to bring your attention to a more nuanced element of Ray's music. I appreciate his ability to sing covers, Elvis covers. I appreciate his ability to sing covers of gospel songs like The Old Rugged Cross or Amazing Grace. What I'm really intrigued by and drawn towards are his original melodies. I'm drawn to his ability to compose and deliver powerful melodies. And if we were to, for a moment, step into the seat of a composer, if God or the Creator had gifted us with that role, that task, which is true actually for a lot of people in this room, so you can correct me afterwards if I'm way off. But if you're to step into that seat, you want to start with a few key ingredients to create a powerful song. One, you want your lyrics. You want lyrics that are authentic, they're relatable, lyrics that people can connect to. And then you want a good song structure, how you move from your verse, your chorus, your bridge. You want a good song structure that will help move the song along. But what takes a song from good to great, what takes a song from great to legendary is a powerful melody. A powerful melody sticks with you no matter what. A powerful melody has the ability to transport you back to a room where the host of a beauty pageant serenades you with a song and then becomes the love of your life for the next 50 years. A powerful melody can bring you back to the most special and precious moments of your life. A powerful melody has the ability to instill hope in the face of injustice. A powerful melody has the ability to bring healing and wholeness to a divided nation. I spent some time this week at Big Sky Country Way, just trying to get a sense of like, all right, this is a street that has been named in honor of someone great. Just want to be on the ground and get a feel for what it's like to stand there. And as I was standing there and thinking of our time today and preparing for this moment and asking myself the question, what is it that we need to hear? What are the words of comfort and encouragement that we need to hear? I was struck by a parallel of Ray, an old character that I'm really inspired by. There's a story, an ancient story of a king who is troubled and his spirit is troubled. And what his advisors recommend is that they bring in a musician. And they bring in this musician who is known to be a great musician, but there's something special about this musician. And he's able to play the harp in such a way that this king is healed and calm. It calms his spirit. And we see that present in Ray's music. We see that in his life and in his music. If lasting, real impact is the destination, then I believe that melody is the path we travel to get there. Melody, the combination of notes that we compose, is the path we take to create lasting impact in the lives of those in our direct sphere of influence and even beyond that. I love how, Naomi, I love how you closed off the Metis Hour this last Saturday. At the very end, before playing the closing song, Special Angel, you said, I think Ray must be dancing or partying with Elvis right now. And I love that. Can you imagine the melodies they might be creating right now? And Ray did a phenomenal job of creating powerful melodies while he walked here on earth. And he did it well. He completed his assignment. But for us, for the St. Germain family, for everybody gathered here today, there's an invitation to ponder the question, what's the melody I'm creating today? Ray was entrusted with a gift of creating powerful melodies. And I believe that's true for a lot of people in this room, but what I believe is true for everyone is we're entrusted with the responsibility of doing something with the life we've been given, with the melody and path we've been given. And so I want to propose 3 ingredients that I think are vital. I want to leave you with 3 things you can remember and hang on to that are vital when it comes to creating a powerful melody. Number 1, pay attention to the rhythm. Every good melody has a rhythm that it sits on top of. And the beauty about a melody is it can dance around a little bit. It can bounce, it can move around, but it always stays true to the rhythm that's been given to it. And every single person in this room has been given an internal rhythm. An internal rhythm that's been gifted to us. We didn't create this rhythm. It was handed over to us. It was entrusted to us. So the question is, what melody will you create on top of the rhythm that's been given to you? When we look at ourselves, when we look at all of creation, we recognize that we live for patterns. Whether it's the rise and fall of the tide, whether it's seasons, we are wired to lean into patterns. And we have this internal pattern that's placed inside of us. And I wonder whether it might be worth pausing and asking ourselves the question, who placed this here? And how do I connect with the source and author of this internal rhythm as I go about creating my path and my melody? What would it look like to pay attention to this rhythm? The second ingredient I want to propose is variation in notes. I love how you emphasize that Ray was able to get to those top notes. I think if we step into the role of a composer, it can be tempting to create a melody with only high notes. But that quickly becomes quite boring and lifeless. And every good melody has range. You're moving up and down on the scale. You're moving through the scale, and you need both the highs and the lows. A beautiful, beautiful melody requires the highs and the lows. As we create our melody and our path, what would it look like for us to embrace the high notes and the low notes? As you go about creating your melody, you notice along the way there's some notes there that you didn't place. You discover notes, you're like, I didn't put that in my melody. And it was placed there maybe by a parent, a grandparent, a friend, a spouse, a child. Include those in your melody. Pay attention to those notes. And every once in a while, there's notes in there that we discover actually find us as opposed to us finding them. Include those in your melody. And then the third and final ingredient that I think is really key when it comes to creating a powerful melody, a melody that creates real, lasting impact, is pay attention to the rest symbols. A beautiful melody leaves space. It leaves room. It doesn't try and crowd the space. A melody that is full of notes can easily become wearisome and tiring. And it's in the moment of space and rest that we're able to hear the rhythm we're trying to align ourselves to once again. It's in those moments of rest and pause that we realize what's really important to us. It's in those moments of pause and rest that we can realign and focus on our vision of creating real, lasting impact. Lastly, I want to conclude this encouragement or message to you. St. Germain family, what's really incredible and what I find really fascinating is that the most powerful and potent and impactful melodies stick with you way even after the song is done being played. Way afterwards, you hear it, you start humming it, you start singing it. It stays with you. It's embedded into the fabric of who we are. Ray completed his assignment of creating powerful melodies. He took the assignment given to him by the Creator and did it well. And my prayer for you is that the melody he created continues to be a source of comfort. My prayer is that the fact that this melody will never be gone, it'll always be a part of you and everybody in this room and everybody tuning online and everybody that's ever been impacted by Ray's life, that melody will live on forever. My prayer is that that'll be a source of comfort for you and for us today. My prayer is that as we go from this place and continue to remember Ray and reflect on our own lives, that we pay attention to the melodies we've been entrusted to create. Who will you inspire with your melody? Who will you impact with your melody and with your path? Lastly, I'd love to read a beautiful poem or a few words that Glory put together. It's at the back of your program as well. And what I love about this is it really captures the idea of who Ray is, but I think it also captures the idea of what we're created and intended to do. Open your hands and your heart to receive this day as a precious gift from God. Sing praises to him. Tell of his wonderful works. May the glory of God and his ray of light comfort you through the healing powers of music. God bless you.
You know, it's kind of funny when you think of songs, and we have a musical tribute coming up shortly. When you think of songs, it doesn't have to be a full song, a powerful song. Ray, I think, will be most remembered for his performance of I'm Proud to Be Métis. But I think It's Now or Never was his signature song. And as I mentioned before, we will never forget that performance at Big Sky Country Way. But there is a song, as Pastor Wumbo was talking about that. I just thought about this song because Gloria and I share, we both lost a dear person. I had 52 years with my Janine, and in the blink of an eye, life does change. Nobody knows how much time you have in this life. So you make the most of every day. And Ray did that. I just thought of this, Glory. I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just got started And before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long. The most important speaker here tonight, a very strong woman. The love of Ray's life, Glory St. Germain. Come up.
First of all, thank you all for coming today. It means the world to our family, our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren who are all here today. Ray St. Germain, wow, the love of my life. He was a superstar, husband and father and grandfather and friend, a musician, a producer, and he would have been very happy that all of you came here for him today, and I'm very grateful as well. He liked to plan things, and his passing was no different. We all have busy lives and are doing things, and when he passed away, it was June the 25th, and my daughter Sherry was with me at the time, and my son David walked in moments later. And Sherry said, what time is it? And it was 5:08, the time on the healing frequency that Sherry plays her music in, honoring her father. And I said, what day is it? And she said, it's June the 25th. And I said, wow. June the 25th, 50 years ago, was the day that I met Ray. And he sang to me. I was in the Miss Manitoba pageant, and our eyes met, and I fell in love with his voice, and then I fell in love with him. And Lorraine, who actually won the Miss Manitoba pageant, and she's a friend of mine. We were all friends. It was a competition, but girls are girls. We just like to hang out. And Lorraine posted, and she said, a picture of herself, and she said, wow, 50 years ago today, she said, I won the Miss Manitoba pageant. And because she's my friend, I posted, Dear Lorraine, you may have won the Miss Manitoba pageant, but I won the love of my life, Ray St. Germain. And it was just a beautiful life together. And I am so grateful to my children who are here, who I love you so much, and my grandchildren and all my friends and family. And I'm so grateful to all of our speakers today, and David Chartrand, who has been a rock through all of this. And I'm so grateful, and Naomi, my other adopted kid. And we just share a beautiful life. And please play the music loud, just enjoy it. And thank you to his sister Judy, who is here as well, and nieces Monique and Jasmine. And I just want you to enjoy the musical tribute that we have coming for you right now, and enjoy it. Tap your toe. And thank you very much for sharing this time with us. Thank you.
See, it doesn't matter which St. Germain, there's always a standing ovation. We have some musical tributes to present to you. Some wonderfully talented people are here, Ray's friends, of course. And Before we part, I just want to share a story with you. But first, let's do a few musical tributes. And the first one up I'd like to call is Winston Wuttunee. Winston, please come up and share a tribute with us. Winston Wuttunee, everybody.
Hello. So glad to see everybody from the family. Family I never really got to know, but I knew Ray, and that was pretty good. And I guess I'll never forget Ray because, I'm in my later years. I know that some of you might have thought this was Winston Wuttunee. But she's been singing with me.
For decades.
For decades, yeah.
Hello?
And this is my wife, Jerry. And she's been singing with me. Not for decades. So I always wondered when I would see Ray singing, where did he get that beautiful voice? And then I got to thinking one day, native people are very good singers. We can sing really high, we can sing really low. And I thought to myself, all right, then I think Ray, his native blood was very powerful. And with that native blood like that, he was able to sing so great. I listened to him hit those high notes, and I thought to myself, gee, I wish I could hit some of those high notes. I can write them, and I can write my own melodies, but I can't sing those high notes, and that's why I've got her. Alena Zhuravel, another famous family here in Winnipeg.
That's all I'm good for, the high notes.
And my wife, Jerry, I never even knew she could sing until we moved to Kelowna. And in Kelowna, there was a lady and her husband that came from the Ukraine, and they came get out of all the problem, and she was a choir director. And she heard Jerry sing, and she said, you have a beautiful voice. And then when I looked at her singing, and knowing that she had a beautiful voice, I was always so pleased to get her up on stage with me. But to the family, you've heard the words of love that we've all given, and we're not kidding.
I would just like to say that it was an honor for me to have Ray show up at my retirement party 11 years ago that Winston had organized. He came in and he said, I had to stop in. I'm running to the airport to pick up Glory, but I want to sing you a song. And Kevin, which song did he sing to me? Concita Kowalski, knowing, I thought that was pretty appropriate, me being Ukrainian. I thought that was really nice, and I was really honored. As a teenager, I would watch him on TV. So it was an honor.
Want me to say something?
It was an honor for me to have him at my retirement party, and it's an honor to sing this song for the family.
But we're not singing that song.
No, we're not singing that song. No. It's an honor to sing song.
No, they understand, honey. Thank you for getting me out of a tight jam there. Okay, then this is the song that we have picked to sing for Ray. It's a beautiful song, and it says it all.
Just use that mic. Yeah. They said we wouldn't be moving furniture, but we did. We got a clear stage. There's no extra cost, believe me. You know, we have so many talented people here today with heartfelt tributes and stories. I think that we got to know Ray even better than we thought we did over these wonderful tributes this afternoon. And we still have another musical tribute to come your way. It's a violin tribute, very talented lady, Patty Costron, so please make her feel welcome as she comes up.
Such an honor to be asked to play here today. I had a message from Naomi that they needed a fiddle player, and I said, sure. I had to teach in northern Saskatchewan for the past week, and I drove here back home yesterday, and I texted DJ. I said, I was asked to play at your father's celebration of life. What would you like me to play? And he said, do you know something moving or majestic? And I said, I could probably find something. But I've known Ray for many, many years. I grew up listening to, if it wasn't fiddle music, it was CKRC radio, and lots of Ray St. Germain music, from Dynamite Woman to No More on the Outside Looking In. And I think in 1979 or 80, I was on a parade float for the Morris Stampede with Ray and his two daughters, Chrystal and Catie. So my roots go back. Oh, thanks. And got to share the stage with Ray a few times, and I always loved listening to him. We'd chat backstage, and he'd tell me stories about some of the classic country singers that he had the opportunity to meet over the years. That was always my favorite part, sitting with Ray and just talking to him. And joining him on the Metis Hour once in a while also was a huge thrill. But I'm gonna play a tune that I thought might pay tribute to a wonderful man. It's a tune written by Jay Unger called Ashokan Farewell.
Oh, heck, I'll just hold it. It's a union thing. You know, I just want to say something, just a few words while, you know, this wonderful family gets set to give you a real wonderful send-off musical tribute. I had this thing going with Ray, and Glory knows about this. He told a story one time about a name mispronunciation, and it happened at an airport. And I was proud and honored to introduce every show that Ray did with his wonderful family or his band at the casinos of Winnipeg, and I think it was McPhillips. And every time I would go to his dressing room and I'd knock on the door, he'd come to the door and I'd say, excuse me, is it Roy? And he'd say, no, it's Ray. And I said, oh, good. And he said, what do you want, Jerry? I'd say, well, it's Joey. Oh, yeah, okay, whatever. I said, you know, I just have a few suggestions for your show. Do you mind? Oh, by the way, is it Stigerman? He said, no, it's Saint Germain. Oh, okay. We do this every time. I mean, it was absolutely hysterical every time he would, would perform there. So the one time I'd say, and this was all made up, and I said, you know, Roy, he said, Ray, I have a suggestion for your show. You know, I should come on in the middle of your show and do a couple of songs. What do you think? And he said, you know, Jerry, I said, Joey. And these words I'll never forget. I'll never forget. It touched my heart on your suggestion. And I'll never forget it. He said, Jerry, I said, Joey. He said, would you have my blazer pressed for the next show? I'll never. What a wonderful friend. In the blink of an eye, in the blink of an eye. Gloria invited me into her home in what would be Ray's last months. And we sat and we watched the show that he put on at McPhillips. It was about 7 years ago, the show went on. And it was so surreal, sitting with Ray and watching this show. And it was just incredible and surreal how wonderfully talented this man and his family was. But to have him as a friend, wow, to have him as a friend, and in the blink of an eye. We spent about 2.5 hours together. And when I was leaving, he put his forehead on my forehead, and he said, I have so much respect for you. And I said, Ray, it just pales. It pales. And it's infinitesimal, the respect I have for you. And I mean that from my heart. Hi, guys. Well, thank you very much. The band's here. Hey, do you remember this? I don't want to put you on the spot, but I was just thinking about this. Do you remember this? I was standing by my window when I heard my friend Ray's voice. He was singing from the heavens, my friends, don't be sad, rejoice. And here with a wonderful musical tribute, the St. Germain family. Let's hear it.
We're going to start with Mr. Alena Zhuravel, ladies and gentlemen.
This could be tough. No, let's hope modern technology works. Please work. So far, it's flashing. Un, deux, trois, quatre. Mon vieux chum Ray Saint-Germain était une bonne méchif. J'ai fait rencontrer Ray, oh man, en ces années passées, quand j'étais un enfant, moi. Moi, j'ai vu mes chips à la ronde. Oh, look at that. I have just one story I want to say. Several years ago, we were at the NCI with my sister Gloria, my sister Barbara, and myself. He was interviewing us. We were getting ready to do a Christmas show in Saint-Laurent. I'm from Saint-Laurent, by the way. Have you mangé de galette? Lirado, and skinned many a muskrat. Anyway, we were talking about voices in music, and Ray turned to me with a straight face and he said, you know, you've got a face for radio. Praise the Lord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, I'm tired and I'm weary, but I must hold on till the Lord comes to call me away, where the morning is so bright and the Lamb is the light, and the night is as dark as the sea. Oh, yeah. There will be peace in the valley for me someday. There will be peace in the valley for me. Lord, I pray there'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no trouble. I see there will be peace in the valley for me. Oh, yeah. Praise Jesus. Praise Jesus. Well, the bear will be gentle, and the wolf shall be tame, and the lion shall lay down with the lamb. Oh, and the beast from the wild will be led by a child, and I will be changed from this creature that I am. There will be peace in the valley for me someday. There will be peace in the valley for me, Lord. I pray there'll be no sadness, no sorrow, no trouble. I see there will be peace in the valley for me. There will be peace in the valley for me. Bless you. Thank you so much. Praise the Lord. Thank you.
We have Alena Zhuravel.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by. If you smile through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll see the sun come shining through for you. Light up your face with gladness, hide every trace of sadness. Although a tear may be ever so near, that's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use in crying? You'll see that life is still worthwhile if you just smile. That's the time you must keep on trying. Smile, what's the use in crying? You'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just smile.
Next we have Jeff St. Germain.
Take a stand here. Hold on a sec. Thank you everybody for coming today. I'm gonna do one of my grandpa's favorites, and I hope I can do it some justice.
ask Paul Podwarny to come sing this one with me.
Help me walk another mile, just one more mile. I'm tired of walking all alone. Lord, help me smile, another smile, just one more smile. I just can't take it on my own. Never thought I needed help before. I thought that I could get by myself. Tender hand, remove the chains of darkness. Let me see, oh, let me see just how I fit into your master plan. Never thought I needed help that I could get by myself. Now I know I just can't take it anymore. With a humble heart on bended knees, I'm begging you please for help. Thank you. We have my brother Ray. He's gonna come on.
I don't know if I can do this, but we're gonna give this a shot. My dad taught me everything I know about being an entertainer and handling an audience, and this is definitely one of the toughest ones yet. I know he taught a lot of us a lot of things, and years ago he did a TV show that was all about old cowboy songs. It was one of my favorites, and there was a song on there called Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys. And I asked him, I said, who does that song? He said, that's Willie Nelson. Let me show you how to play it. And he actually taught me how to play this song. I've been playing it ever since. And years ago, I actually got to meet Willie Nelson. And I'll never forget what he said to me. He was walking towards me, and he goes, "Get out of my way, kid." He taught me that joke too. I grew up a dream of being a cowboy, loving the cowboy ways, pursuing the life my high ride heroes. Well, I burned up my childhood days. I learned all the rules of a modern day drifter. Don't you hold on to nothing too long. Just take what you need from the ladies and leave them with the words to a sad country song. My heroes have always been cowboys, and they still are, it seems. Sadly in search of and one stepping back of themselves and their slow moving dreams. Now cowboys are special, their own brand of misery, from being alone too long. You can die from the cold, the arms of a nightmare, knowing well your best days, they're gone. Picking up women instead of my pen, but the words of my youth fade away. Old worn out saddles and old worn out memories with no one and no place to stay. My heroes have always been cowboys, and they still are, it seems. Sadly in search of and one stepping back of themselves and their slow moving dreams. Sadly in search of and one stepping back of themselves and their slow moving dreams.
We have Catie St. Germain coming up.
I'm not gonna say anything.
Consider all
hear the rolling thunder, thy power throughout the universe displayed. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. And when I think that God His Son not sparing sent Him to die, I declare and take it in that on the cross my burden gladly bearing, He bled and died to take away my sin. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou when Christ shall come with shout of acclamation and take me home, what joy will fill my heart. Then I shall bow in humble adoration and then proclaim, my God, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art, how great thou art. Then sings my soul, my Savior God, to thee. How great thou art,
Gonna get Catie. I'm not sure. Sure. Yep, we got it. Got it? Exactly.
Sherry and I are always fighting over who's going first. This is Sherry, the youngest of Dad's 5 kids. I'm Catie, second of Dad's 5 kids. Chrystal's number 1, right there. Because it's very confusing. You almost need like a family tree. But we get it together. And then Raymond and DJ, of course. All right.
This is in the key of G. That's what Dad would say. He'd say, give me a key and I'll flat it myself.
Okay, you go. I'll be right here with you. Okay.
We couldn't sing something sad because I wouldn't be able to get through it. Kudos to Jeff. That was amazing. And everybody else of the Stage Germain family. Thank you guys so much for coming. We're going to try to lift it up in celebratory fashion. Busted flat in Benham Rouge, waiting for a train, when a feeling near faded as my jeans. Bobby found a diesel dam just before the rain, wrote a song the way to New Orleans. Well, I pulled my harpoon in my dirty red bandana. I was playing soft, well, Daddy sang the blues, yeah. Windshield wipers slapping time, I was holding Daddy's hand in mine. We sang every song that Mama knew. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose. Nothing. It ain't nothing, honey, if it ain't free. Yeah. Whoa, feeling good was easy enough when he sang the blues. You know, feeling good was good enough for me. Good enough for me and Catie McGee. Modulation.
doesn't stop there. We want to invite any of the family members that want to come up and help out on this one. Raymond, Chrystal, if you want to. Jeffrey, Catie, Jordan, if you feel like it. Jasmine.
Come on, Jazzy.
Come on, we got.
Get used to it now. You know
We
how
got a bunch of
felt our whole
cousins too,
lives.
and they're amazing singers, but they went in a different direction. But Jasmine, Monique, if you feel like it, because you could come for the next one too, because it's got lots of good harmonies.
Check one, two, 1, 2.
Anyway, my dad loved this song when I sang it, and I hope I can sing it. I'll be able to with all of you guys up here, so anyway. Where are you going? You gotta be up here with me.
I'm getting the hook. Let's give myself the hook.
Okay, you ready? Operator, give me information. Give me long distance. Long distance. Give me One, two, three. Operator, information, give me Jesus, on the line. Operator, information. I'd like to speak to a friend of mine. Oh, praise another. Faith is the exchange. Heaven is the street. Jesus is his name. Information. Oh, give me Jesus on the line. Oh, operator, information. Won't you tell me why did it take you so long? Operator, information. Don't try to tell me what number to call. Oh, my mama used this number every time she called, and every time she dialed it, she always got her call. So operator, information. Please give me Jesus on the line. Woo! Come on, everybody. This is a celebration. Come on, don't be shy. Oh boy. Woo! Thank you so much. We're going to do one more. Got DJ up here.
We'll bring some more people up with us. Al, Lionel, Daryl,
Alena, Kimberly.
Kimberly, Alena. Where's Curtis?
Curtis, Jennifer.
Jerry.
Get up here. Yes.
Jennifer.
Jazz. Monique.
We're gonna need more microphones.
Today. Let's really hear it. Send them off. Nice send off. Beautiful. Absolutely outstanding. Was that a send off or was that a send off, huh? Thank you all. Thank you so much. I want to say to everybody, what I wish everybody, every special person I meet in my life, love, luck, health, and happiness always together. Thank you so much. Please remain seated. Mike will be up here. A special thank you to Voyage Funeral Homes for assisting in this wonderful afternoon that we just experienced. Mike will have details on how we will exit the church. Is Mike here? There you go, Mike. Mike from Voyage. Thank you, my friend. It's actually good to see an old friend again. God bless you all. Go with God. Thank you.
Wow, I guarantee you Calvary Temple will never have a rocking service like this again. And they probably never use so many microphones either. I just want to share a quick story for you. I guess after today, I could say that I'm the funeral home for the stars. I want to just share a quick story with you on how I met Ray St. Germain and how I came here today. My brother Kyriakis Voyajakis, who was killed earlier this year, was really good friends with Ray St. Germain. They hung out all the time. As a matter of fact, Glory shared a story with me yesterday where they both ended up at the hospital at the same time, and they hung out all night in their nightgowns, talking to each other. So they're probably in heaven right now, hanging out in nightgowns too, listening to this awesome service. So Kyriakis one day would do what he normally did, introduce his brother to everybody. So I was sitting at the back there, and he goes, "Bro, you gotta come and meet this guy, he's a legend." I'm like, "Who?" And then he calls Ray over, and he goes, "Ray, this is my brother Mike, and he's a funeral director." And then he goes, "Mike, this is Ray St. Germain, and he's a legend." So I shook Ray's hand, and then Ray put his arm around me and said, "I guess you're gonna be my undertaker one day." And that's how I got to know Ray St. Germain. I gotta tell you, the St. Germain family is the most loving, caring, amazing family I've ever met. Let's give them a great big hand for putting on such an amazing show tonight. Another funny story is, when I was a kid in high school, I wanted to work on the radio really bad. And I went and saw Joey Gregorish. And Joey Gregorish would teach me how to be a radio announcer. Joey, you did an amazing job emceeing today. Wow, great big job for Joey. While I brought up the Cork and Flame, I want you to know that there's gonna be a celebration of life afterwards, also at the Cork and Flame, where you're gonna be able to hear more. We don't have as many microphones, but you'll be able to hear entertainment there, and you can go there and have some food and join the St. Germain family. They're gonna be there around 6. But after this, we're gonna go downstairs where you can have a time of fellowship with the family and share some stories. And how we're gonna do that is we're gonna ask everybody to stand, and then we're gonna lead the family down, and then you could follow after. On behalf of the funeral home, our deepest condolences go out to the St. Germain family and the friends who've attended here today. On behalf of the family, thank you to each and every one of you for your love, for your support, and for your attendance. As you leave today, may the good Lord be with each and every one of you and bless you all in a very special way. Again, thank you for your attendance. If I can get everybody to please stand.
Watch out you don't roll down the stairs.